Hey guys, it's Steph here again today, and today I'm back with a reading video. I decided at the beginning of June that I was going to do a rainbow reads kind of challenge, and I did not actually post a video about it because I just wanted to get into it because I wanted to make sure that I could get through it. So what I did was I chose a book that represented each color of the rainbow for Pride Month. So pretty much what I did was I went on Wattpad because I wanted to do a Wattpad edition because most people don't do that. And I feel like Wattpad doesn't get, the exposure that it deserves because there are some people on Wattpad that have amazing writing skills. And I wanted to share that with you today. So, what I did was I went through and I chose a book. I have it on my phone here. I chose a story based on the color of the rainbow. Hence, rainbow reads. So yeah, some of them, it was actually really hard to choose because there is a lot of the same type of story. Mostly boy on boy kind of thing. Not very many different genders. I shouldn't say gender, different sexualities, I guess would be the term. So pretty much what I chose, so let's start with red. So for red, I chose Nerd Alert, and also Wicked Ones, which I'll show you the covers for them, and then I'll talk a little bit about each one of the books. But yeah, so here's this one. This one's more of a comedy kind of book, which I'm not really fond of. I don't really like to read comedy stories, but I chose this one. So this is what the cover looks like. As you can see, it's red and it's Nerd Alert. So the summary says, Alexander isn't your typical nerd. He says what he wants, does what he wants, and verbally bashes you while doing it. That's what Travis, a soccer player assigned to be tutored by Alex, hates most about him. Confusing feelings, a drunken party, and a month of tutoring was all it took to get Travis to realize he was head over heels for the sharp-tongued Alex. So, I did read this book, or the story, I guess I should say. It is actually about 25 chapters. It took me about 3 days to read it completely, and it was really good. I liked some of the satire in it, which was really, thought out. There was a couple things that I really didn't like about it, because it was kind of cutthroat, and I don't really like books about that way. I don't know how to explain it, or stories about that way. But overall, it was a really good story, and I definitely recommend it to read. It is a boy-on-boy story, of course, and it's by Saint C. And again, it took me about 3 days, so let me just tell you a little bit about kind of what happened. So it's a basic story about boy falls in love with boy unexpectedly, and it kind of goes through their story about how he was able to tell him finally that he liked him and things like that. So it's just basic, boy on boy, loving kind of story. So it's pretty good. The next one I also read. I'm not really good about reviews because I don't really like to give you guys any information about it because it kind of ruins it if I tell you what happened. So this is book 1 of The Wicked Ones by We Hoard Cats. This is my other choice for red, just because I wanted to do more than one color for red because there was so many really awesome chapters. And this one has about 52 chapters, but they're kind of small. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So the summary is, it's an action, romance, fantasy kind of story, which is kind of like what I really like. So it says, Wickeds have grown to a whopping 3% of the entire United States population. No one knows where they originated or how they became to be. Some contest that they were ever humans at that they were ever humans at all, but demon spawn or sons of Satan. Sometimes they are just simple college students making their way into the bustling city of Seattle. So pretty much it's kind of like this species of like wicked ones is what they call it, and it's like it's another boy on boy kind of thing, and it's like a gay supernatural people, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of really very creative. It's very good. It's kind of long, so don't really get into it unless you really want to spend some time reading it. This one actually took me almost a week to read, so it made it hard for me to get to other books. But so far it's pretty good. You know what I did read. It's got a lot of action in it, and a lot of fantasy, a little bit of romance, of course, because what would a book be without a little bit of romance? But yeah, so that one's pretty good. My next choice for let's see what color it was. Pretty sure it was orange. Orange is the color. Yes, so for orange, I chose What My Girlfriend Doesn't Know. Again, this is another boy on boy, and this is by Drumsticks, and it's about 40 chapters, which the chapters aren't super long, which is great because it makes it easier to read. It does contain a little bit of sexual content and like vulgar language, so if that's not something you like to read, you really don't want to read it. But this one is, Nathan Dawson is so in love with his girlfriend Tracy. The two of them are happy as a couple can be, and there is literally nothing that can get in the way of their love. Well, at least that's what Nathan thought. That's what he thought until someone who has been there for him his entire life starts to end up in the picture. That someone is none other than his best friend Trevor. So the basic falling in love with your best friend kind of thing, another boy on boy story. But it's pretty good. I did like it a lot. There's a lot of like secrets and things like that. That's kind of stuff that I like to read about. So next up I asked for, let's see if I can find it. For yellow, because I could not find a yellow book or like a cover with yellow on it. So I chose this one just because this is an actual diary. It's an actual diary of a pansexual, gender fluid person. And the reason I chose it is it does have yellow in the title or in the cover. It's by Daddy_fanfics69. Some of these names crack me up. But I really can't tell you much about it because it is about her life, I guess is what I should say. But it is really, it's actually her diary. It's about how she came out, how she dealt with the, people treating her like crap, things like that. It's a really good read. And then she also does a face reveal, which is really awesome. So I wanted to show you what she looks like. And this is her. And that's just some pictures. But it's a really good read. I definitely recommend you to read it. But again, it is her actual diary, so it is very choppy, kind of like just writing. It's really good. And it actually got ranked number 12 in Story of My Life, so that's really awesome. The next one I chose for green was The Chosen Alpha, which is actually not green cover, but it actually has green writing, if that makes any sense, because it was really hard to find a green cover. So this is the one I chose, and this is by Erebus692. It is Jessica is a werewolf chosen by the moon goddess to lead 3 packs to survival along with her woman mate. Can her and her mate be ready when the time comes to lead them? It's a girl on girl, which is really great to find. It's actually harder than you realize to find. There is about 10 chapters, and she is still editing it, so there are still a few things that are, grammatically incorrect, things like that, but you know what? It's Wattpad, whatever. It's really great to read. I love reading stories about werewolves and things like that, and packs and alphas. So it's really good read if you're into that kind of reading. The next one is blue. I chose The Price of Popularity, which is like this. This is the cover. And it is by beautiful_and_damned. It is Asher's life revolves around two things, being popular and his boyfriend Danny. Unfortunately for Asher, these things don't really coincide, so he leads these two completely separate lives. At school, he is captain of the football team, he flirts with pretty girls, and parties like there's no tomorrow, but all changes when his boyfriend visits on the weekend. So it's a story, pretty much it's a story about being closed in, being in the closet, as people like to say, in front of people, because he wants to stay popular, and he's afraid that by being popular, he cannot be gay as well, which is completely wrong. You can love who you love, and that's that. If people don't accept you, that's their problem. And it's kind of like I don't know how to explain it, because I don't want to tell you too much about it. Pretty much, it's like, can he stay popular and treat his boyfriend the way he needs to be treated, or will he lose his boyfriend due to the price of popularity, if that makes any sense. So it's a really good read. I definitely recommend it. Definitely check it out. So another color that was really hard to find was purple. So I chose Rainbow People, an LGBTQIPA poetry series, which is actually really fun. And the reason I chose it is because purple's the first color on her face. I know it's really dumb, but that's how I chose it. And it is the ultimate fat man. There is quite a few things on here. There is actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different poems on here. They're all absolutely amazing. Some are very heartwarming, and some are very brutally honest about what it's like to be gay or bisexual, or whatever you classify yourself as. So that's definitely a really good read. Another thing that I do notice is that there is a lot of short stories on here as well. So if you're really into looking for LGBTQ stories to read, this is definitely a great site, Wattpad. But this is my favorite one right here. See if I can. It's Love Wins Short Stories. It actually won a Wattie, which is really awesome. And there's a lot of really good stories in here. Most of them are coming out stories. Some are very creative stories, like there's a steampunk story in there that's freaking awesome. For instance, I was just reading it. It's called The Clockwork Conspiracy, a steampunk fairy tale. It is so good. I love it. But so far, my favorite one is a 4-letter word. And it is really awesome. It's very short. Again, short story, duh. But it says, how do I find myself in the shards of life? The answer is simple. The world is black and white, but I'm a shade of gray. I laid there underneath those shards for a long time before I saw the colors. The LGBT community may mean a lot to me, but what does LGBT mean? Honestly, it's just a 4-letter word, and the real meaning of LGBT does not lie in the word. It lies with the girl who cries at midnight, the boy who fell in love, the genderqueer kid in the shadows. It lays with 2 hands too scared to touch each other, a ribcage bent into the shape of pain, a dress hidden underneath their skin. LGBT means fear. It means loneliness. And so on and so forth. So that is absolutely amazing. It touched my heart in so many ways, every way possible. It really shows what this person is going through being, gay. And it's sad that the world still feels that they need to be like that. But anyways, that is the extent of this video. Again, this is the Rainbow Reads Challenge for Pride Month. If you would like to join me, please comment below, or shoot me up. Yeah, shoot me up. Yeah, that's not proper. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. Let me know your videos, because I'd really like to watch them. But yeah, if you have a Wattpad story that you've also done, please leave a link in the description, or tell me where it's at, what your name is, because I'd love to read it. Wattpad's one of my favorite places to read stories, because some of them are uncut and raw, and that's my favorite kind of reading. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.